Firefly Lane style analysis. We are in the 70s, 80s and the early 2000s in every episode and I loved it. If you haven't already binge watched Firefly Lane on Netflix, then go watch it now. I managed to watch this series in a couple of days and absolutely loved the costumes by Alyssa Swanson. I'll be talking about Tully and Kate's outfits in the 70s, 80s and 2000s. Tully's first appearance as a young girl is in the 1960s. We see her in one outfit, but from the outfit it's very obvious that she's being styled and cared for by her grandma. She wears a knit cardigan that her grandma probably knit for her and a Peter Pan collar dress, popular at the time. Tully wears a ring which shows her love for jewellery even from a young age. A little side note, the hippie movement was during the 1960s to 70s, which Tully's mum, Cloud, is very a part of. Cloud is portrayed as a stereotypical hippie with long hair, a carefree attitude and regular drug usage. Her hippie fashion definitely influences some of Tully's 70s outfits. In the transition into the 70s, where the girls are in their teenage years, we see Tully in a waistcoat and skirt. The waistcoat fashion was very popular in the hippie subculture, worn with skirts and boots like Tully does in this outfit. When we're introduced to Kate, we see her in her iconic oversized glasses, which were very popular in the 70s. She's also wearing high-waisted green flared trousers. I actually found a similar pair in a 70s teen magazine. We can already see the contrast in these two characters. Kate is dressed fashionable but modest, implying she's shy and gentle, while Tully is dressed more freely, taking on some hippie elements, showing she's more confident and has a larger-than-life personality. Overall, Tully in the 1970s was very influenced by hippie styling. Although both girls wear flares a lot, Tully would wear hers low-waisted, paired with peasant blouses, including some waistcoats. She often wears knee-high boots with her dresses and skirts. Her white knee-high boots and blue dress really make her stand out, which shows what a confident character she is. To be honest, that might be my favourite outfit she wears. Layering turtlenecks under tops and dresses was also popular at the time. When the girls are in the bathroom and Tully lends Kate her jeans, she comments about making her outfit a new trend, when in fact it was a very popular styling choice in the 70s. However, no one around them styles the same way she does, instead dressing more like Kate, so maybe it's implying Tully is a bit ahead in fashion than the others. She's also wearing Nike Cortez, when Nike gained mainstream attention in the 80s with the help of Michael Jordan. This outfit shows how fashionable she really is. Tully's striking blue eyeshadow makes an appearance in all her outfits, which was around in the 70s but not as much as the 80s, which also shows how Tully is just ahead of everyone else. I love the way she wears the vinyl coat in one scene, she looks so cool. But from what I've seen, it seems to have been more of an adult fashion, so maybe she was borrowing it from Kate's mum as they walk to her house, because that's the only time we see her in it. Kate's overall look isn't very hippie, apart from one scene where she wears a poncho. It looks so comfy. She has more of a dressy, casual wardrobe. She often wears tight shirts with flared trousers. Her outfits are always comfy and practical. I think her mum probably has an influence on this because her mum didn't understand why she would pay so much on white jeans. She wears sweaters and cardigans, often wearing boots or small shoes paired with her outfits. One scene I love is when they've really started to become best friends and they're wearing the same thing but in their different styles. Kate is wearing a black tight top with striped detailing with flares, whereas Tully is wearing a black dress with striped details. This highlights how they're different but they still need each other. The 80s was all about the girls' start in life. Alyssa Swanson said, Kate in the 80s was all about pastels, Tully was very bright and jewel-toned. Kate was always softer as the grounding maternal one, everything had a coziness to her even when she was at work. Swanson took inspiration from Brooke Shields for their college looks in the early 80s. When we see Kate in college, she's wearing a sweatshirt similar to what tennis players were wearing at the time. The 80s was the turnaround of making athleisure wear into everyday clothing. College Tully also wears a jumper but with animal print, making it more glam. Similar prints, colours and patterns were on the runway at the time. We also see Tully in a cropped blazer similar to one Shields wore, overall indicating that Tully is, of course, very fashionable and follows fashion closely. Tully in college is very pink and, of course, accessorises herself with big earrings and necklaces. In the late 80s, when the girls were starting their careers, Swanson was inspired by Cindy Crawford. Tully's first outfit is similar to a lot of Crawford's shoots, specifically her Cosmopolitan front cover. Tully is wearing the same bright red, but in a different t-shirt style, and the hoop earrings, styled with more accessories and classic 80s belt around the waist. Kate is wearing a white blouse, similar to one I found in a magazine. She incorporates the colour red in a plaid maxi skirt, but with Tully and Kate next to each other, Tully really stands out more. I found this a pattern in their 80s work outfits. When Kate wears bright colours, Tully dresses more toned down, and when Tully wears bright colours, Kate dresses more toned down. Maybe it's their way to let each other shine when they need to. 80s work is the brightest we see Kate dress. I love her pink monochromatic outfit. She even wears pink earrings and pink tights. Colourful tights to match your outfit was a very common 80s styling choice. Her pink earrings also feature in another pink outfit she wears with a lovely pink argyle pattern. Tully is wearing animal print similar to something she wore in the 80s for college, but a bit more toned down and includes an 80s styling in the shoulder pads. Both the girls wear a lot of pink in their workwear. This was a very common colour, especially as Diana wore the same shade of pink herself. Diana's fashion was very influential in the 80s. A lot of her fashion trickled down to everyone at the time. The girls also wear blazers and skirts. Diana was also wearing similar blazers that the girls wear, but it was also just a popular workwear choice. Tully jazzes up her blazers by the plaid pattern or by colour and detailing, while Kate opts for wearing simple blazers and skirts. This again shows the difference between the two personalities. Kate is more reserved while Tully is more out there. We can't talk about the 80s and not mention gym outfits. When the girls are in the gym, we get a taste of working out fashion at the time. They both wear leotards with tights and leg warmers. Kate is also wearing a belt for extra support, and headbands of course. They are wearing more muted colours compared to now when we dress up 80s for Halloween, which I think is a more realistic representation of what everyday women were wearing. Kate's maternity wear is also very influenced by Diana. All the girls and Kate are wearing very similar colours and styles to what the princess wore when she was pregnant. Also, when it comes to Kate's bridesmaid's dress, the sleeves look very much like Diana's wedding dress. Swanson also said that the bridesmaid's dress was made like one she wore to a wedding in the 80s. Even Tully's suit she wears to the wedding is very influenced by something Diana wore herself. The overall look of the wedding is very 80s with the big shoulder pads, big sleeves, bright colours. It was such a fun scene to watch. The 2000s are when the girls are in their 40s. Swanson said, "The 2000s were not our greatest period of time for clothes, but it is so different from how we dress today." Oprah was someone Swanson looked to for Tully's style in the 2000s, since that was when the Oprah Winfrey Show was at its peak, which translates into the time Tully is doing her show. Oprah and The Ellen Show are also referenced a lot by Tully and others, so we can tell it's the early 2000s when they're all peaking or starting. Oprah has always been very elegant, which is evident in everything that Tully wears. When Tully is on stage performing live, she often wears pencil dresses and tight-fit clothing, showing off her figure at 40. She always looks expensive and sophisticated. Her colours have muted right down compared to her 80s look, often just using jewellery to add details to her outfit. Her jewellery has had a change to more expensive as we see more diamonds and pearls on her, showing the success and wealth she's gained. Although her outfits have really muted, she does have pops of colour in very fashionable pieces, showing she's not completely gone away from colour. She wears heels with her pencil dresses and large earrings similar to her 70s style. I love the faux fur coats she wears in the 2000s, so extra and fit her character well. It makes her look luxurious and expensive. She has a variety of colours and wears them when she's out and about. When she is opting for a more casual look, she wears turtleneck jumpers, often in muted colours, but she does also wear a navy, similar to something she would have worn in the 80s. We see flashes of her younger 70s self in high-knee boots she wears in her all-white outfit. She still loves her prints and patterns like the 80s, but with more of a current style. She instead wears zebra print. I love her zebra print coat outfit. The pop of red make the outfit really stand out. She also has some silk in her wardrobe, wearing silk pyjamas or as cami tops in one of her outfits. Silk is often linked with luxury, so there's no surprise Tully is wearing it. Overall, Tully's fashion in the 2000s reflects that she's wealthy and successful. Even the fact she lives in a skyrise apartment shows she's wealthy and can treat herself. On the other hand, Kate lives in a big family house by the sea, showing she has other priorities but has also been successful in many other ways. Swanson said Jennifer Aniston was a big source of inspiration for 2000s Kate. Kate's fashion is very practical and comfortable. She looks comfortable in everything she wears. She often still wears pastels like she did in the 80s, often wearing cardigans and jumpers in pastel colours. She wears flannels and button-ups which are comfortable and practical. She still wears pastels to work like she did in the 80s as well. When she dresses up, she often opts for a wrap dress, popular amongst mums as it's very flattering. I wish I had more to say about 2000s Kate, but she really is just minimal, comfortable, and worries more about getting the job done than styling herself. I don't really know if that's the right way of wording it, but she is just more muted, more comfortable, and her outfits show that. So Kate and Tully have very different styles throughout the series. Tully has always been more fashion forward and opted for jewellery and bright colours, whereas Kate has always dressed in pastels and prioritised comfort. In the end, Tully was a single businesswoman so could spend money on her appearance and lifestyle, whereas Kate had other priorities and a family to look after. So which character was your favourite? Let me know in the comments down below. I can't believe I'm finally done. Gosh, it took me like 5 days to do this, so hopefully someone sees it.